Welcome to the first module of our course, Advanced Project Risk Management in Defense. Today, we're delving into one of the most critical aspects of managing defense projects, risk management. Let's begin with a simple but crucial question. Why is risk management so important in this sector? Imagine this. In 2010, a major defense contractor was tasked with delivering a cutting-edge surveillance system to enhance national security. However, unforeseen supply chain issues caused delays, which snowballed into cost overruns exceeding $2 billion. The project missed its delivery deadline by years, leading to public scrutiny, loss of stakeholder trust, and operational gaps for the military unit relying on the system. This real-world example underscores a vital point. Without robust risk management, even the most well-funded, meticulously planned defense projects can falter. Risk management is not just about avoiding failure. When done effectively, it is a powerful tool for success. It builds trust among stakeholders, ensures that deadlines are met, and helps control costs. It also enables teams to navigate uncertainty with confidence, ensuring that critical systems and solutions are delivered on time, within budget, and to the highest standards of performance and safety. So, what can you expect from this module? By the end, you'll understand why risk management is the backbone of every successful defense project. We'll explore the unique risks defense projects face and how they differ from risks in commercial industries. You'll also be introduced to foundational principles and key terminology, which will set the stage for mastering more advanced strategies in later modules. Now let's connect this concept to your own experiences. Think about the last project you worked on. What risks did you encounter? Perhaps it was a supply chain disruption, a sudden change in regulations, or a cybersecurity threat. How did your team respond? Did you feel prepared, or were the challenges unexpected? This course is designed to equip you with the tools to anticipate, assess, and address these risks effectively. Our goal is to provide you with practical skills you can apply immediately in your work. Whether you're managing a large-scale defense contract or overseeing a specialized project, these lessons will be invaluable in navigating the complexities of this sector. Risk management isn't just a step in the process, it's the foundation for success in defense. Let's dive in and explore how you can harness its power to transform challenges into opportunities, ensuring that your projects achieve their mission-critical objectives. First, we need to understand why risk management is so vital, especially in defense, where complexity, regulations, and stakes are uniquely intense. Let's unpack these factors and see why failing to manage risks effectively can have far-reaching consequences. Let's start with complexity. Defense projects often involve vast, interconnected systems that must work together seamlessly. Consider the development of a new fighter jet. This process requires collaboration across multiple teams, organizations, and even nations. It involves integrating cutting-edge technologies, such as advanced avionics and stealth materials, with precise engineering and testing protocols. Each moving part introduces its own risks, and a single overlooked detail can potentially derail the entire project. Now let's consider regulations. Defense initiatives are heavily governed by rules, standards, and contractual obligations. These regulations are designed to ensure transparency, accountability, and the highest level of safety and reliability. Missing a compliance deadline or failing to meet a specific standard can result in penalties, project suspensions, or even contract cancellations. In the worst cases, non-compliance might compromise operational readiness, putting missions and personnel at risk. Next, we come to the stakes involved in defense projects. The stakes in this industry are higher than most others, both financially and operationally. A poorly managed commercial project might result in financial losses or a missed product launch, but a mismanaged defense project could compromise national security. Imagine a missile defense system that isn't delivered on time or doesn't perform as expected. The repercussions could range from public safety risks to geopolitical consequences. Effective risk management creates a roadmap for navigating uncertainty. It helps identify potential challenges early, assess their impact, and implement strategies to address them proactively. This process builds confidence among stakeholders, whether they are government agencies, contractors, or military leaders, by demonstrating that risks are being managed with precision and foresight. Let's delve deeper into how effective risk management achieves these outcomes. First, it ensures that projects stay on schedule. By identifying risks such as supply chain disruptions or resource shortages in advance, teams can build contingency plans to minimize delays. Second, it keeps costs under control by evaluating the financial implications of potential issues and prioritizing resources to mitigate them effectively. Third, it enhances operational readiness. In the defense sector, this means ensuring that critical systems and equipment are delivered on time and function as intended. Risk management also plays a crucial role in fostering collaboration and trust among stakeholders. Defense projects involve diverse groups with varying priorities and expectations. Government agencies are focused on compliance and accountability, contractors on execution and deliverables, and military end users on functionality and performance. A robust risk management process creates a shared framework for addressing concerns and aligning objectives, enabling smoother communication and better outcomes. It's also worth noting that risk management is not just about responding to threats, it's about identifying opportunities. For example, by analyzing technological risks, a team might discover an emerging innovation that could improve the project's efficiency or performance. By embracing a proactive approach, risk management can turn potential challenges into competitive advantages. To bring these points together, let's reflect on why risk management is critical in defense projects. The complexity of these projects demands meticulous planning and coordination. Regulatory requirements necessitate strict compliance to avoid costly penalties and delays. The stakes involved, both financial and operational, make failure an unacceptable option. And finally, the benefits of effective risk management extend far beyond avoiding pitfalls. They include building trust, ensuring readiness, and even uncovering new opportunities for success. Defense projects operate in a uniquely challenging environment, where the risks are not only diverse but also deeply impactful. While all projects face risks, the nature and scope of risks in defense make them particularly complex. In this segment, we'll explore three major categories of risks specific to the defense sector: geopolitical risks, technological risks, and supply chain disruptions. Through real-world examples, we'll understand how these risks manifest and why managing them proactively is essential for success. Let's start with geopolitical risks. Defense projects are intrinsically linked to national and international politics. Unlike commercial ventures, these projects often rely on government funding, policies, and agreements between nations. This creates a unique vulnerability to shifting alliances, regional conflicts, or sanctions. For instance, consider a multinational defense project where a cutting-edge missile defense system is being developed through a collaboration between several allied countries. If a political dispute arises between two of these nations, it could delay critical decision-making, disrupt funding, or even terminate the partnership altogether. Similarly, geopolitical events such as wars or economic sanctions can restrict access to key resources, impede logistics, or destabilize entire regions, creating ripple effects that affect project timelines and costs. Another aspect of geopolitical risk is the unpredictability of policy changes. Defense budgets and priorities can shift dramatically with changes in government leadership or international relations. A project approved under one administration may face budget cuts or altered objectives under the next. This uncertainty makes it essential for defense teams to monitor political developments closely and prepare contingency plans for potential disruptions. To mitigate geopolitical risks, defense teams must adopt a proactive approach. Building diverse partnerships, maintaining open communication with government stakeholders, and conducting thorough geopolitical risk assessments are critical steps in ensuring project continuity and resilience. Next, let's discuss technological risks. The defense sector operates at the forefront of innovation, where cutting-edge technologies like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and advanced robotics are central to mission success. However, the rapid pace of technological change introduces several risks. One major risk is obsolescence. In the time it takes to design, develop, and deploy a defense system, the underlying technology may become outdated. For example, imagine a defense contractor working on a satellite communication system over 5 years. By the time the system is ready, advancements in communication protocols or hardware could render the technology less effective or even irrelevant. Cybersecurity threats also pose significant technological risks. Defense systems are high-value targets for cyber attacks, with adversaries seeking to steal classified data, disrupt operations, or gain unauthorized access to critical infrastructure. A well-documented case is the breach of a defense contractor's network, where sensitive information about a new fighter jet was stolen, compromising not only the project but also national security. Interoperability challenges are another concern. Defense projects often involve integrating new technologies with existing systems, which can lead to compatibility issues. For instance, a new radar system might not seamlessly communicate with legacy platforms, resulting in operational inefficiencies or even mission failure. To manage technological risks, defense teams must emphasize flexibility and adaptability. This includes adopting modular designs that allow for incremental upgrades, investing in robust cybersecurity measures, and conducting rigorous testing to ensure system compatibility. Staying informed about emerging technologies and their potential impact is also critical for maintaining a competitive edge and ensuring operational effectiveness. Finally, let's explore supply chain disruptions, a risk that has gained increasing attention in recent years. Defense projects often rely on complex, globally distributed supply chains, making them vulnerable to a wide range of disruptions. One significant risk is the reliance on sole-source suppliers. In the defense sector, specialized components such as advanced microchips or precision-engineered materials are often manufactured by a limited number of suppliers. If one of these suppliers faces production delays, financial difficulties, or is affected by geopolitical sanctions, the entire project can be delayed. Global dependencies also introduce risks. Many defense projects depend on materials or components sourced from other countries. For example, rare earth elements used in advanced electronics are primarily mined in a few regions of the world. Political or economic instability in these regions can disrupt the supply chain, leading to delays and increased costs. Natural disasters and pandemics further compound supply chain vulnerabilities. The COVID-19 pandemic, for instance, caused widespread disruptions across industries, including defense. Factory shutdowns, transportation delays, and labor shortages created significant challenges for ongoing projects, highlighting the need for robust supply chain resilience strategies. To mitigate supply chain risks, defense teams can diversify their supplier base, establish redundant supply channels, and maintain strategic stockpiles of critical materials. Conducting regular supply chain risk assessments and collaborating closely with suppliers to identify potential bottlenecks are also essential practices for ensuring continuity and minimizing disruptions. While we've discussed geopolitical, technological, and supply chain risks as separate categories, it's important to recognize that these risks are often interconnected. A geopolitical conflict, for example, might disrupt supply chains by limiting access to materials or manufacturing facilities in affected regions. Similarly, a cybersecurity breach might have geopolitical implications if sensitive information is leaked to adversaries, leading to escalations or policy changes. This interconnectedness makes it even more crucial for defense project teams to adopt a holistic approach to risk management. By understanding how these risks overlap and influence each other, teams can develop more comprehensive strategies to address them effectively. Let's look at a real-world example that highlights the unique risks we've discussed. In the development of the F-35 fighter jet, supply chain issues, technological challenges, and shifting geopolitical priorities all played significant roles in delays and cost overruns. The program faced delays in acquiring critical components, interoperability issues with allied nations' defense systems, and scrutiny over cybersecurity vulnerabilities. These challenges underscored the importance of robust risk management practices across all stages of the project. Despite these hurdles, lessons learned from the F-35 program have led to significant improvements in managing risks in subsequent defense projects. Teams now place greater emphasis on supply chain diversification, advanced cybersecurity protocols, and adaptable design principles to reduce the likelihood of similar issues arising in the future. To summarize, defense projects face unique and multifaceted risks that require proactive and comprehensive management. Geopolitical risks demand constant vigilance and strategic planning to navigate an ever-changing global landscape. Technological risks call for adaptability and foresight to keep pace with rapid innovation while safeguarding against cyber threats. Supply chain disruptions highlight the importance of resilience and redundancy in maintaining project continuity. Understanding and addressing these risks is not just about avoiding failure, it's about ensuring the success and security of mission-critical objectives. By recognizing these challenges and implementing effective risk management strategies, defense teams can navigate uncertainty with confidence and deliver results that meet the highest standards of performance and reliability. To effectively manage risks in defense projects, it's essential to understand the foundational principles and key terminology that form the backbone of the risk management process. These principles guide decision-making and ensure that risk management efforts align with project goals, while the terminology provides a common language for teams to communicate effectively. In this section, we'll explore the three core principles of risk management: proactivity, transparency, and adaptability, and define critical terms like risk appetite, mitigation, and residual risk. By grounding our understanding in these concepts, we'll establish a strong foundation for more advanced strategies covered later in this course. The first principle of risk management is proactivity. Proactivity involves identifying and addressing risks before they escalate into problems. In defense projects, Waiting until a risk materializes can be catastrophic, impacting timelines, budgets, and even mission-critical objectives. For example, consider a defense project developing a new radar system. A proactive team might conduct a risk assessment early in the design phase, identifying potential issues such as supply chain bottlenecks or emerging cybersecurity threats. By anticipating these risks, they can implement mitigation strategies like diversifying suppliers or investing in advanced cybersecurity measures, ensuring the project stays on track. Proactivity requires a mindset shift, from reacting to risks as they arise to continuously scanning the horizon for potential threats. Tools like risk registers and early warning systems can help teams maintain this forward-looking approach. Transparency is the second core principle and involves clear, open communication about risks. In defense projects, stakeholders range from government agencies to contractors and end users, each with unique priorities and concerns. Ensuring that everyone has access to accurate, up-to-date risk information fosters trust and facilitates collaborative problem-solving. Imagine a scenario where a potential delay in the delivery of a key component is identified. A transparent approach would involve immediately informing all stakeholders, explaining the potential impact, and presenting a plan to address the issue. This openness not only builds confidence, but also encourages stakeholders to contribute resources or insights to mitigate the risk. Transparency also extends to documentation. Maintaining detailed records of identified risks, mitigation strategies, and outcomes ensures accountability and provides valuable lessons for future projects. The third principle, adaptability, emphasizes the need to remain flexible in the face of changing circumstances. Defense projects often span years, during which technologies evolve, geopolitical conditions shift, and unforeseen events occur. An adaptable risk management approach allows teams to adjust their strategies as new information emerges. For example, a team working on a defense satellite program might face unexpected regulatory changes mid-project. Instead of adhering rigidly to their initial plan, an adaptable team would revise timelines, allocate resources differently, and update their risk assessments to reflect the new reality. Adaptability requires a combination of mindset and methodology. Teams must cultivate a culture of agility, encouraging members to embrace change as an opportunity rather than a setback. At the same time, they should use flexible planning tools like rolling wave planning or agile project management frameworks to support this principle. Now that we've discussed the principles, let's delve into some essential risk management terminology. Understanding these terms is crucial for effective communication and decision-making in defense projects. Risk appetite refers to the amount of risk an organization is willing to accept in pursuit of its objectives. In defense, this often involves balancing mission-critical goals with resource constraints and safety considerations. For instance, a military project developing a new weapon system might have a high-risk appetite for technological innovation, but a low appetite for operational delays. By clearly defining risk appetite at the outset, project teams can prioritize efforts and allocate resources effectively. It's important to note that risk appetite can vary between stakeholders. Government agencies might emphasize compliance and budget adherence, while contractors might focus on meeting technical specifications. Aligning these perspectives is a key challenge in defense projects. Mitigation involves taking actions to reduce the likelihood or impact of a risk. In defense projects, mitigation strategies often include redundancy, contingency planning, and technological safeguards. For example, a defense contractor building a naval vessel might mitigate the risk of supply chain disruptions by sourcing critical materials from multiple suppliers. Similarly, contingency planning, such as pre-arranging backup contractors, ensures that the project can continue even if an issue arises. Effective mitigation requires ongoing monitoring to ensure that strategies remain relevant and effective as conditions change. Residual risk is the risk that remains after mitigation efforts have been applied. It's important to understand that no mitigation strategy can eliminate risk entirely, especially in the complex and dynamic environment of defense projects. For instance, even with advanced cybersecurity measures, the risk of a cyber attack on a defense system cannot be entirely eradicated. The remaining risk, after all safeguards are in place, must be acknowledged and managed. This highlights the importance of regular risk reassessment and contingency planning. To bring these concepts to life, let's consider a defense project tasked with developing a new drone surveillance system. Early in the project, the team identifies several risks, including a potential shortage of critical components, cybersecurity vulnerabilities, and shifting regulatory requirements. Applying the principle of proactivity, the team establishes a risk register, documenting each identified risk along with potential mitigation strategies. They also conduct regular horizon scans to identify emerging threats. Transparency comes into play when the team communicates these risks to stakeholders, including government agencies and contractors. They provide regular updates through risk dashboards and ensure that everyone is aligned on the priorities and challenges. Adaptability is demonstrated when new regulations are introduced halfway through the project. Instead of resisting the changes, the team revises their approach, reallocates resources, and updates their mitigation plans to comply with the new requirements. Throughout this process, the team uses key terminology to guide their efforts. They assess their risk appetite to determine which risks are acceptable, implement mitigation strategies to address high-priority risks, and regularly review residual risks to ensure they remain manageable. By integrating these principles and terms into their workflow, the team enhances their ability to deliver the project on time, within budget, and to the required standards. In summary, the principles of proactivity, transparency, and adaptability, combined with a strong understanding of key risk management terminology, form the foundation for successful risk management in defense projects. These concepts enable teams to anticipate challenges, communicate effectively, and adapt to changing conditions, ensuring that risks are managed proactively rather than reactively. As you reflect on this section, consider how these principles and terms apply to your own projects. How can a proactive approach help you identify risks earlier? How might greater transparency improve stakeholder trust and collaboration? And how can adaptability ensure that your project remains resilient in the face of uncertainty? By incorporating these ideas into your risk management practices, you'll be better equipped to navigate the complexities of defense projects and achieve mission-critical objectives. Let's continue building on this foundation as we explore advanced risk identification and assessment frameworks in the next module. As we come to the end of this first module, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered and look ahead to the next steps in your journey through this course. Risk management, as we've discussed, is the backbone of successful defense projects. It's not just a process or a box to check. It's a mindset and a discipline that ensures your projects stay on track, meet their objectives, and most importantly, uphold the critical missions they are designed to support. In this module, we've established why risk management is so vital in the defense industry, explored the unique risks defense projects face, and introduced foundational principles and terminology to guide your efforts. We began by discussing the importance of risk management in defense projects. These projects are distinct from their commercial counterparts due to their complexity, stringent regulations, and high-stakes environments. Poor risk management can lead to dire consequences, including cost overruns, project delays, and even national security vulnerabilities. On the other hand, effective risk management fosters trust, ensures operational readiness, and drives mission success. Next, we explored the unique risks that set defense projects apart. Geopolitical factors, such as shifting alliances or regional conflicts, can disrupt even the most carefully planned initiatives. Technological risks, like obsolescence and cybersecurity threats, demand constant vigilance and innovation. Supply chain disruptions, exacerbated by global dependencies and unforeseen events, highlight the importance of resilience and redundancy. Finally, we examined the core principles and terminology that form the foundation of risk management. Proactivity allows us to anticipate challenges before they arise. Transparency ensures open communication and trust among stakeholders. Adaptability enables us to respond effectively to changing conditions. Together, these principles empower us to navigate uncertainty with confidence. Key terms like risk appetite, mitigation, and residual risk provide a shared language for identifying, assessing, and addressing risks. Before we move on, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. What risks have you encountered in past projects, and how were they managed? Were there instances where better proactivity, transparency, or adaptability could have led to better outcomes? How might the principles and strategies we've discussed today apply to your current or future projects? Risk management is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It requires tailoring strategies to fit the unique circumstances of each project. As you think about the risks specific to your work, consider how the tools and concepts introduced in this module can help you address them more effectively. This module has set the stage for a deeper exploration of risk management. In the next module, we'll take a closer look at risk identification and assessment frameworks. You'll learn systematic approaches to uncovering potential risks, evaluate their likelihood and impact, and prioritize them for action. We'll also introduce you to industry-standard tools like failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA, and explore how these can be adapted to the defense environment. The journey to mastering advanced project risk management in defense is just beginning. As we progress, we'll build on the foundation established in this module, equipping you with the skills and knowledge needed to tackle even the most complex and high-stakes projects. To close, I'll leave you with this question. What steps can you take today to strengthen the risk management practices in your own projects? Whether it's conducting a risk assessment, fostering greater transparency among your team, or adopting a more proactive approach to emerging threats, consider how you can begin to implement the principles we've discussed. Thank you for your attention and engagement in this module. I look forward to seeing you in the next session, where we'll continue this important conversation about managing risks in the defense sector. Together, we'll ensure that your projects not only succeed but also achieve their mission-critical objectives.